It's been a while since I posted a video, so I wanted to do a calf video, a calf training video, and I've done one of these in the past where I used the dog crap method to train calves with a 10-second stretch and a 5-second squeeze at the top, and I had good results with that over, I believe it was 2, maybe 3 months of training it, using it to train my calves. So I said that I wanted to do another one and change it up, do something a little different. So I'm going to do what I'm going to call a 200 rep calf method, and all that means is in 1 week you need to achieve 200 repetitions of seated calf raises and standing calf raises. And the main objective when you're training these 200 reps, when you're performing them, is a good tempo. I'm not saying you have to have a certain number of seconds per repetition, or that you need to stretch for X amount of time or squeeze at the top for X amount of time, but the idea is to avoid bouncing your reps or going too fast. Time under tension is essentially what most people fail to incorporate into their calf training, which is why the dog crap method is so efficient. It's why it works so well. So basically what I'm going to do is for the next 8 weeks or 2 months, I'm going to train my calves 2 times a week. I'm going to do a standing version and a seated movement with the idea that I'm hitting all of the muscles in my calf. The big belly being the part that most people see, the gastrocnemius, if I'm saying that correctly, and then the smaller muscle underneath, the soleus. So if you want to hit the gastroc, you need to do it standing, and you want to hit the soleus, you need to do it seated with your knees bent. So real quick, I'll move the camera and show you what I can do here at home as a way to train, just to give you some ideas if you're limited to certain things, and maybe you have a squat rack at home. I can show you how you can train your calves standing. So you'll see on the floor I've got a little calf raise thing that I created. Just took I basically took some 1x4s. I took 4 of them and nailed them together on top of another piece of wood as kind of like a platform. It's actually a piece of shelf, but this allows me to stand up on it, and I probably would have made it one more 1x4 taller looking back, because I can get a really good stretch here, but my heels actually touch the floor, so I could get a little more stretch had I made it a little taller. So if I needed to, I could put another piece of wood underneath it without even having to nail it together. But this is what I use. I'll literally put a bar across my back. I'll set the hooks up really high on the cage, and I'll get up here, I'll unrack it, and I'll lean into the cage where the bar is literally rubbing up and down the posts on the cage. If you're not worried about scratching up your squat cage or your bar, then this is a great way to train the standing calf raise. Same thing, nice good tempo, good squeeze, decent stretch, time under tension. So that's how I train standing calf raises here in my garage gym. I could train seated calf raises here if I needed to. I would use that same piece of wood. I would take my bench, I would sit on the end of my bench, put my feet on the wooden calf raise platform, and then the best way that I can think of to do this would be to load up my barbell, and probably would just have to pick it straight up off the floor, pull it up, right at just above your knees, and then sit down into the bench, and then somehow maneuver your feet up on top of the calf raise board. But using the barbell on top of your knees is the best way that I can think of, or right on top of your legs, your thigh, to get that seated calf raise variation in there. Otherwise, you could stack a bunch of 45s up on top of your legs. Just get creative with whatever you can do at home to achieve the seated variation of the calf raise. Otherwise, I pretty much be training these at the gym, LVAC, where I've got 3 or 4 different standing calf raise machines and several seated. So I'm going to go ahead and measure my calves, both my right and my left right now, just to see where I'm at. If I can remember where I put my tape measure. So here's my tape measure. Just kind of show it to you so you can see I'm not getting anything extra. If anything, it almost might even be a little short. So I'm going to measure, and then in 8 weeks I'll measure again and we can see where I'm at. So let me move my camera down here to a good place. So I'm flexing. This is my right calf. I'm at right at 17 and a half for my right, and then my left is actually half an inch smaller, and that may just be my inability to flex it because my left ankle is so jacked up. But I'm right at 17 inches for my left calf. So 17 and a half for my right and 17 for my left beginning. I'll start this probably Tuesday is when I'll get my first calf session in, and like I said, I'm going to run this for 8 weeks, 2 months, and it's just another way, it's another routine. The only routine that I know of for training your calves is that dog crap method, and otherwise, I've never really went online and researched to see if there's an actual, there's a bench press routine, there's a deadlift, there's this, there's that, and I think a lot of people just go in and train calves as hard as they can with the expectation that they're going to grow, and they don't follow really a routine, or they don't necessarily have a goal or a template for their workout. And with this routine, just like anything that I would do for my squat, my bench, or my deadlift, progressive overload is the key. So if you you need to be trying to add weight to the bar, or you need to maybe slow your reps down a little bit if you know that adding weight is going to prevent you from getting your reps for the day, then maybe just make the repetitions a little longer, squeeze harder at the top, stretch longer at the bottom if you need to. But also, it is 200 reps, so you're getting 100 reps each workout. I'm going to do 5 sets of 10 standing, and then I'm going to go do 5 sets of 10 seated in the same workout, and then I'll repeat that later in the week. And if you can't do 5 sets of 10, then maybe you do 10 sets of 5, or any way that you can achieve your 100 reps in your workout is totally fine. It's not going to matter. It might even benefit to change it up. But 200 reps for the week is the goal. Doesn't matter how you get it. But the key is having slow, controlled repetitions, and you need to do standing with straight knees and seated with bent knees, so that you're attacking the different muscles in your calf. Good luck.